beep, beep, beep. Welcome to the court of the Edijester. How are we, everyone? I hope you're well today. First of all, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Ta-da! And, he says, become a warrior teacher. Let's get started. Got lots to do. So it's my teaching week and I really enjoy that because I get to see everyone. Fantastic sessions yesterday. Hey, all the warrior teachers doing stuff, taking on schools and all sorts. So, there are times in our fight, our battle, our kerfuffle, that in the milieu, there comes a moment of wonderful oddness. And today we have for you a moment of wonderful oddness. And this is an example of what happens when you get the critical social justice nutters, right? So all the trans and non-binaries, the race baiters, and all those, lunatics from the woke stable. But I should call it the woke wigwam. Or would that be cultural appropriation? I don't know. Right? I'll have to ask one of them. Right? So the woke wigwam. That we get something that comes along that's just extraordinarily good. And this is it. Because when they're left alone to their own devices and there's nobody outside of their cult to pick on, they pick on each other. Right? It's like a kind of woke Lord of the Flies. Right? It's just glorious. So here we go. Right? In spring 2023, members of the American Friends Service Committee, a prominent Philadelphia-based social justice organisation, I thought that was a cheese, Philadelphia, organisation published a letter renouncing one of their own. It alleged that Raquel Saraswati, this is so good, Raquel Saraswati, its chief equity and inclusion officer, as if you could have equity and inclusion officer, who for years had claimed to be a person of Arab, South Asian and Latino descent, was in fact a white woman. Saraswati, who had often spoken publicly about LGBTQ plus rights, BIPOC empowerment. It sounds like some sort of perverse ritual. BIPOC empowerment and Islamophobia. Oh, there we go. There's that word again. Islamophobia denied the allegations. It's like some kind of woke Nixon. I am not a white woman. I am not a crook. Wonderful, right? Nonetheless, she resigned from the organisation in February as well-regarded local news outlets picked up the story. In February 2023, The Intercept quoted Saraswati's mother saying that her daughter, who legally changed her last name from Seidel years ago, was as white as the driven snow. It's just so good. Some activists compared Saraswati to Rachel Dolezal, who was another one of these LARPers who pretended to be a race they're not. The disgraced former president of the Spokane NAACP chapter, who was born to white parents but claimed she was black. So, this is this is a group of nutters, right? Who will quite happily champion people who think they're non-binary. Right, and also people think they're the opposite sex. So we've got people pretending to be something they're not, and people pretending to be something they're not. Two categories: non-binary and transgender, and they've got a problem because people's pretending to be something they're not. See, I told you it was glorious. Saraswati found a place to land after her disgrace. Full spectrum therapy, a LGBTQ plus psychotherapy clinic in Portland that focuses on serving low-income trans and non-binary clients. She handles equity and human resources for the clinic. You couldn't make it up. You just couldn't make it up. Yeah. Why did they fire you? Because I pretend I was black. Oh, well, that's all right. Come on in. We pretend men are women. The refuge was short-lived. Soon after her hiring, therapists at Full Spectrum found out who she was and raised objections to her hiring in a September 22nd email to the clinic's founder. So, therapists who spend their time talking to people who think they're something they're not object to somebody who thinks they're something they're not. Make it make sense. How do they square the circle in their head? You know, some gruff bloke going, my name's Mabel. All right, Mabel, how you doing? Oh, I've had a period. Have you now? Bloke called Mabel, who's pretending something he's not. And then you've got this other woman pretending something she's not, and they have a problem with it. They wrote an email. There's dozens of these men LARPing as women and women LARPing as men, and they wrote an email. Right, we don't like people pretending something they're not. And you get all these people in the background going, shh. Don't say a word. Oh, it's too delicious. At any rate, they wrote this email, but Saraswati stayed employed. By all accounts, she works remotely from Philadelphia. By the beginning of 2024, more than half of the therapists at Full Spectrum had left because of her hiring. It's just not a hint of irony. This woman is pretending to be something she's not. I tender my resignation. Sorry to hear that. That's all right, Jane. I'll see you again. Full Spectrum. Did you watch Eurovision? The Eurovision thing when the Swedish they came on and took the Mickey out of the men in dresses. It was just glorious. If I can find it, I'll stick it in.
Hello! Thank you for a wonderful show. Super entertainment. This is my wife. Hello, Europe. 12 points goes to Sweden.
If I found it, I've stuck it in. That's it. All right. Okay, here we go. Full Spectrum is one of a handful of clinics in the city that specialises in counselling for trans and non-binary clients, a type of care that is increasingly high demand. Yeah, well, it's because people are pretending they're something they're not. In fact, the absence of culturally specific and gender identity specific therapy is so pronounced that the Oregon legislature recently directed $80 million to building up culturally responsive behavioural health providers, $235,000 of it to Full Spectrum. This is insane. They're spending money on this rubbish. Oregon. How you doing, Oregon? I thought that was a herb. Oh, it's oregano, isn't it? Oregano. There's no connection, is there? Tell me the dooberies. The exodus from Full Spectrum widened the desert of clinics that work specifically with trans and non-binary clients. They are such limited resources for trans and non-binary clients who can't do private pay. That's what makes this extra painful and heartbreaking for us, says Casper Woods, one of the clinicians who left Full Spectrum in the fall. It's heartbreaking to have to bring this level of conflict to a trans person. Hey, don't go making up your own identity, mind. Only we can do that. Well, how come it is that you can identify as a woman when you're a man, but I can't identify as black when I'm white? Just don't do it, right? It's glorious. Go read the rest of it. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.